Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. This week we are back to the Kansas Speedway, so strap in and let's get to this once again. Just like the last video that we did when we covered Kansas, not a whole lot has changed, so it's going to be a little repetitive I think, but tires are going to be the biggest factor for this race. Taking care of your tires and managing them is what's going to give you your long run speed, and that's where you're going to be able to make your passes. If you want to go really hard at the beginning of the run, then you just go to the top and run as hard as you can and get as much as you can before you fall off. Hope for a caution, really. But with these races, we always try to have the mindset of taking care of your tires and being good on the long run because everybody can really go as hard as they want on the short run. But if you're patient and take care of your tires, you'll catch those guys probably around lap 20. I did a 30 lap run earlier before this, and around lap 20 is when I noticed it getting pretty tight. Now, after about lap 13 is when I was running the top every single lap, and I noticed that I was getting tighter and tighter exiting two, and it was killing my momentum down the back straightaway. So if you're not taking care of your tires, you're going to build one way or the other. You're either going to get really loose because you were running really hard on the top, putting a lot of heat in the right rear, or you're going to melt the right front by cranking a whole bunch of wheel into it. So taking care of your tires is really important, and that's going to give you your best shot of success on a long run here. Just like the last video we talked about, the middle lane is not really a lane that you want to be driving in if you don't have to be. Again, I'm showing you the middle just so you can see how slow it is. It's a great option later in the race when the tires are worn and you're trying to avoid dirty air. If you're in a position where you have cars in front of you that are running the top and the bottom, and you're trying to make a pass on somebody, the middle is a great place to go to have that clean air on the nose and not be in somebody's way. Because if you're building tight and you follow somebody into the corner here along the wall, you're going to end up in the fence with the dirty air if you don't back the corner up enough. That's where the middle becomes a great option to have a lane strictly for clean air. As you can see the lap times, it is significantly slower. This isn't me trying to baby it or sugarcoat it. When you drive this track, you feel that lack of grip in the middle. Can't really explain it. That's just the way it is. The bottom is really good for saving tires and making speed. The top is without a doubt the fastest. As you can see with these laps, we're falling off, and I go to the top where it's just all gripped up, and we went flying. Important to note that my lap 3 and one of the runs I did previously where I just went and hot lapped around the fence, I ran a 39.61. So there's a lot of speed up here. Okay, the problem is with this kind of speed, you put a lot of heat in the tires early on, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot for the end of the race. Okay, it's not recommended to be up here, but again, it's all about that balance of how aggressive do you want to be versus saving your tires, right? Dirty air is a killer here, so you want to try to avoid running in somebody's dirty air as much as you can. Even if you're running the top with somebody, if you can just keep that left front underneath them, that alone is better than running straight in their wake, right? These last couple laps here, I'm going to switch to the in-car so you can get a perspective for the bottom and the top again. Again, this lap here was just to show you the speed in the middle, so we'll switch to the in-car for these last two. Okay, guys, two things I want to cover real quick before I close this video out. The first is when you're running the bottom, kind of like Chicagoland that we're going to be visiting in a couple weeks, it is important that you try to get down to the white line. It doesn't have to be very early entry, but you want to get down to the white line because if you're half a car length off that white line for the entire corner, you're going to feel the car start to slide and you're going to put a lot of wheel into it to try to keep it down, and you're going to get really tight. Okay, so when you get to that white line, it almost feels like the left sides are just pulling the car around. Okay, and the other thing is for the top, it's easier and better for you to give up a little bit on entry and get off the corner really well. Don't try to attack the top like you're attacking the bottom. If you do and you get tight, you're the only place you're going to end up is in the fence, and then you're going to get velcroed, and it's going to slow you down a bunch. So important to note when you're running the top, you can see where I'm lifting. Just back it up to where you're comfortable, because the last thing you want to do is get in the wall. Okay. All right, guys, that'll do it for this week's video. If you find that it was helpful, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment down below and we'll get back to them as soon as we can. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you can see these videos every Monday when Maconi Setup Shop posts them. All right, thanks so much for watching. Best of luck this week, and we'll see you out on the track.